Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's coach learning session. Apologies, we're a little bit late with getting this off the ground and to start talk about Facebook growth and how we can grow organically. So we were going to launch a Facebook course at the end of this month, but due to the fast-paced nature and the way in which Facebook's changing, any course that we kind of build right now is going to become outdated within the next 6 months to a year because everything is on the change with new AI coming in. There's a lot of changes with Facebook, but here is some basic stuff. We're going to put this, what was going to be a course, into 2 sessions for you over the next 2 weeks. So if you're a coach that is looking to grow your audience on Facebook, then today we're going to be looking at how you can do that organically, which means naturally without investing any finance into your Facebook account. And then next week, we're going to be looking at how you can do it through Facebook ads and investment. So that's what we're splitting up these next 2 coaching sessions with. Adele, thank you for being here. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Who else is looking forward to this session? So this session is going to be beneficial. These are going to be the key things that you need to understand if you want to grow and build a business on Facebook, especially if you are a coach and you want to expand your audience. So what are we going to be looking at in today's session? First of all, we're going to be looking at what you need to know about Facebook. When you make a conscious shift from being just a Facebook user that scrolls through, maybe posts a little bit of content, to a coach or a business owner or an entrepreneur, when you make that shift, you have to look at the social media app very differently. You have to understand it in a very different way because you're moving from a consumer into what's known as a content creator or a leader, and the things that you need to consider are very different. So we're then going to explore what we need to consider. We're going to talk about the golden hour, which is very, very important. If you haven't heard of this, you need to stick around and make sure you understand what the golden hour is and how you can make use of this. And then we're going to look at conscious content. How do we consciously think about the content that we're posting to make sure that it gets the most reach and reaches the right audience? So that is what we're going to be looking at today. So first question I have for you is, why should we look to grow an audience on Facebook? What do we think? Drop your thoughts in the comments box. If you're watching on the replay, take a moment to reflect. Why should we look to grow an audience on Facebook? What are the benefits? What do we gain? I'm just going to take a moment just to take a pause before we get into all the great stuff today. So I just want to let you know, everything that I'm sharing today is from my own personal experience. It's from courses that I've invested in the past, things I've learned to grow my social media account, from just getting 6 or 7 engagements to getting, over to quite a steady engagement across the posts that I put, and how I can start to get lots of engagement within Facebook groups as well. But why should we look to grow an audience on Facebook? Let me know your thoughts. Whilst we're waiting for some comments to come through, I'm going to share one of the key reasons why we should look at it is Facebook. Whilst many people are talking about LinkedIn, it's become a very popular place to market and start to engage and start to grow an audience. Instagram is also popular. You've got TikTok, you've got YouTube, but Facebook still has the most active users. It has 3.05 billion monthly users and 2.09 billion daily users. Now that's a large figure. A lot of people are using Facebook over LinkedIn and Instagram on a daily basis, which means the type of target audience that you have, your potential clients that you're looking for, a lot of them will be hanging out on Facebook, and you need to understand where they are, how you can engage, and how you can grow an audience of your potential clients so you can grow your coaching business. Now, Adele is saying sharing a message, be yourself, exposure and growth, all those stuff. So yep, we need to learn how to grow audience so we can get our message out there. So if there's something we're passionate about, something we want to talk about, we can get it out there to more people. That's another reason. Being ourselves, exposure, so how we can expand and grow, but it also helps us grow our business. But the key reason is there's 2.09 billion daily users on Facebook every day. How do you reach them? How do you find your portion, your clients, the people you want to serve through and on this app? Like I mentioned, today we're going to be looking at how we do this organically. Next week, we're going to be looking at how we can work through Facebook ads and start to invest. So just a few things and few points to consider. What do we need to know about Facebook? Now, hopefully, if you're a coach, you're already growing your business on Facebook, then you know all of this stuff. If not, it's really useful. You need to have these as Facebook fundamentals. So first of all, it's a social platform that operates from algorithms. What we mean by this is it is anything that you do that is socially good, that works in your favor, the engagement that you get, the likes, the loves, how you behave on that platform. The more socially you behave on that platform, the better the algorithms are going to work in your favor, which means that you're going to start to find and get your posts, your content, and your growth is going to reach more people than if not. If you are posting controversial stuff, if you're getting content reported, if you're getting blocked, if you're getting negative reactions or no reactions, then your algorithms are going to drop and the Facebook and the platform's not going to work in your favor. So when you post, it's going to fall to 2 or 3 people. That's all who's going to see what it is. Your hard work and the strategy that you're putting into your content is only going to be seen by a fair few. So the more social you are on the platform, the more you work towards building a good relationship and good social behavior on there, the better the algorithms are going to work in your favor organically, naturally. So Facebook, it hosts personal and professional profiles. Now, as a coach, one of the first questions you ask when you're setting yourself up on Facebook is, do I continue to work on my personal profile and grow my personal profile, or do I set up a professional profile? Some things to think about, and it's beneficial to have both. Reason being is there's pros and cons of both, but there's also restrictions of both. It's very difficult to grow organically and naturally on a professional profile because they don't get as much reach, they don't get as much popped out there. Personal profiles have priority over professional profiles. And the reason being is because Facebook want you to invest in Facebook ads to grow through investing into the app. So personal profile will help you grow organically, and professional profiles are designed to help you invest in ads, see it as an investment, so you get a return on what you put in by marketing yourself, by working through campaigns, different ads to reach more people. They want you to invest in it through professional profiles. So you can see the benefits of having both. It also allows you to have extra functionalities, like people can leave you reviews on professional profiles. You get more features that you can do for free as well. So there is the benefits of a professional profile. It's just more difficult to grow a professional profile organically. And if you're a coach and you have a professional profile, let me know in the comments box below. There's other questions around this. Should I get Meta verified? Is it worth paying the $10, whatever it is, a month at the moment to get the blue tick next to my name? There's pros and cons of that too. With the Meta, read the list, but with the Meta verified badge, you're more likely to get your content seen. People are going to take you seriously. People know that it's really you behind the screen. But like I said, there is a cost associated with that as well. And that's not just for professional profiles. You can also do that for a personal profile as well. So that's down to preference and what you give in terms of that meaning to that little blue tick next to your name. And as I mentioned, we can grow organically or we can grow through investing. And you need to decide which one you want to focus on, because they involve time and they involve different strategies in order to grow. What you do organically through a personal profile is very different through investing. And as mentioned, we're going to look at Facebook ads next week and how we can maximize the use of these rather than just click the promote button, which is known as the devil button, where you're just going to be wasting your money, burning your money, hoping that you're going to get more reach, without actually thinking about what you need to do so that you're getting a good return on the amount of money you're putting into the professional profile. So this is some things to know about Facebook. Some more things to know. I've talked about organic growth is perfect for personal profiles. Paid growth is for professional profiles. On average, a post on a personal profile will reach 4.32% of your friends. Think about that for a moment. So you put all this time into a beautifully scripted piece of content. Maybe you've done a nice design on Canva. You've got a captured quote. Maybe you've put together a video. On average, that post is going to hit 4.32% of your friends. So think about your friends list right now, and then do the math, divide it by 100, times it by 4.32, and see how many people that's going to reach. And then I'm going to talk about that in a second. We're going to look at how we can start to expand that 4.32. And then the other thing we need to know is we can grow organically or through investing. I've already shared that. It's an extra point on there again. So it's important to know that. And today we're looking at organic growth. So here's an example. You post a piece of content, you have 1,000 friends, your content is going to be seen, it's going to land on the news feed of around 40 people. That's it. So from 1,000 friends, 40 people are going to see that piece of content. That's the average. That's where the algorithms start. But today we're going to explore how we can build that. So it goes beyond those 40 friends, then 40 news feed. It goes above that. You build on that percentage by how you interact, by how you use the platform naturally to grow your audience. But every time, if you fall into the trap, and a lot of coaches fall into this trap when they first start off, they want to create a great piece of content. They have this great expectations that it's absolutely fantastic. I'm going to put it out there and everyone's going to see it and my business is just going to take off. It's not. Your first piece of content, 40 people are going to see it. And that's not to say that many people are going to interact with that. Those 40 people, if they're not the right audience, they're just going to skip through it and you're not even going to expand. And then your algorithm could actually go lower and lower and lower to the point where 5 or 3 people see it because you're not getting engagement, you're not interacting with people, you're not interacting with the right audience. So your algorithms just start to burn and die and you don't get much engagement at all. So every time you post, it's just wasted time. And a lot of coaches fall guilty of this. And it doesn't matter. You need to start to understand this and not just jump in these strategies. You need to post 5 times a week, 3 times a day, 2 times this. It doesn't matter if you're not, if you don't have the right audience, 2, if you're not speaking to that audience in the right way, and 3, you're taking on board everything that I'm sharing with you today right now. You're just going to be wasting your time and it's not going to help you grow. Adele is asking a question here. So how does interacting with comments in groups help? So I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. That's on my list, but comments in groups is a great way to boost your algorithm. It's a great way to make new friends. So you have an increased number of news feeds that your posts can land on. But I'm going to talk about Facebook groups and particularly in comments in just a second. So that's an example. Okay, so how do we build on this? We start to think, well, actually, how do I get more friends to increase that 4.32%? But we don't want to start with getting more friends. What we want to start to look at, if you want to grow your audience and you want to get people engaging, you want to get people commenting, we want to look at how we expand that 4.32% to get more engagement and grow so our algorithms are growing with us. And if you want to go out and look at engagement rate, it's something that's not often talked about. And engagement rate is basically how many followers or friends you have to how much interaction you get. A lot of people these days on Instagram, they go out, they buy tens of thousands of followers to make themselves look like they've got some kind of popularity. But then if you go in, you will see that the engagement rate is less than 1%. It's less than 0.3%. You'll see someone with, say, for example, 60,000 followers and 2 comments on their post, or 2 likes or 2 engagements on their post. You can see when people have bought this, and that has a negative effect as well. So please do not go out and buy followers, because a lot of the followers that you're buying are bots. That's going to have a negative impact on your algorithm. And if you're buying a lot of them, you're going to find yourself in a very sticky situation to turn those algorithms around and start to grow a natural audience, which is going to convert you into sales through your business. Because one of the things I'm going to talk about in a second, you need to think very differently when you use social media as somebody who's owning and running a business than if you're just a general user that is using it for consumption. It's a very different mindset you need to get yourself into. Okay, so things to consider. So the first questions that you need to be asking yourself if you want to grow your audience on Facebook is, 1, do you have the right audience? Is the people that you're talking to full of friends and family, people you went to school with, people you went to university with, now you're a coach, they don't want coaching, they're not interested in coaching, they're not going to engage with what you're posting. So do you have the right audience? And do you have them by the right audience? Is it the clients or the potential clients that you are serving and wanting to coach that's aligned with your niche, your values, and what you are doing as a coach? So first question to ask. The second one is, how are you engaging with this right audience? Are you speaking in a language that they understand? Are you showing and resonating with them to a point where you can help them and start to add value, which will then lead to them purchasing from you and building that trust and credibility you need to grow the business? How can you then expand that reach? If that reach is really low, we talk about that 4.32%. If that's the average, how do you expand that? How do you ensure you start to get 5%, 6%, 10% of whoever you're engaging with seeing your posts. And then from there, how do you start to create warm leads for your business? So with this expansion, with this growth, with building up your algorithm, with getting more people starting to see your content on Facebook, how do you then start to make sales from there? And the worst thing you can do here again is go in and cold DM people. Just send them a private message, tell them about the amazing services through very interaction. It's not going to help you. It's going to actually decrease your algorithm. If somebody blocks you for being too needy and that's going to affect your algorithms massively. So you have to be very conscious of all your interactions on Facebook and how you are receiving interactions from others, because there's levels to this. Okay, so things to consider. Let's take a look at each of these in turn. Okay, so the right audience. So how do we get the right audience? What does the right audience look like? A few points to remember: that a small audience of 20 engaged followers of the right audience of people who would potentially buy or who are struggling with the challenges that you want to help them overcome is a lot more beneficial than 1,000 passive followers. People who it's going to land on the news feed and then not engage with. They're just going to skip through it. Yeah, great, fantastic, and not engage. It's not going to help you grow by getting more passive followers. It's not going to help you in terms of a business neither. It's going to absolutely affect your algorithm. So you need to look at how you get more engaged followers when you're tracking your metrics, or if you have your social media as a KPI in your business, so key performance indicator, then you need to think about what that actually means and what's the value, because just an extra like or an extra follow doesn't mean anything. You know, there's lots of businesses out there. You go on Instagram. So I know we're talking about Facebook today, but you go on Instagram and you look at some of the biggest businesses. Okay, Instagram's run by influencers, but you look at businesses that are making a lot of sales, a lot of revenue in the old style ways of marketing. They're not churning or running a lot of things through social media. They're making a lot of money and their followers and the engagement is very low. So don't get stuck on this idea that a growth in social media is going to mean you're going to make more money and more business and you're going to make your business successful. So that leads us on to step 2, which is we need to step away from this obsession we have in society about being validated and liked for attention. We need to step away and stop counting likes and loves and whatever we get in comments for attention and ego, to look at make ourselves feel good or look great. And if you want to grow your business and start to actually get your practice off the ground, get paying clients coming through your coaching practice, you need to start to step into the mindset of looking at social media, Facebook, as an engagement for business. It's very, very different. And then third of all, you need to start to understand who you are serving. It's very important. We talk about client avatar or client profile. What's the demographics? What's the problems? What's the challenges? We talked about this when we looked at business models. What does the people that you want to serve look like? Where are they using Facebook? What are they using Facebook for? And how do you communicate to them in their language? How do you post content that they're going to resonate with, that they're going to want to comment and like and engage because you're providing them with some value? Just sit and think about these questions. Next thing is engaging with your audience, so leading on from them. A lot of coaches can fall into the habit of posting content for themselves and not for the people that they're serving. And to be honest with you, nobody, unless you've made it, okay, unless you've made it popular, you've got through all this growth, you've got through all the challenges, and you have, you're the likes of Tony Robbins or Simon Sinek or some of the big names in the industry, people are not going to care about you posting content for you. They care about the content you post that is for them. And I don't get this mixed up, because a lot of people say, well, personal brands are what's grown. It's popular right now. I'm not saying don't have a personal brand, but your personal brand needs to be shown the elements of you and what you can do to help the people that you want to serve. At the beginning, nobody cares what you have for breakfast. Nobody cares if you're getting to venture around this unless you're tying it into, no one cares about what you're posting. They want to know what benefit and value they can take from you. So think about how you create content for that audience, that target audience, rather than just going on a rant and making everything about you and you did this and how fantastic you are. talk to your audience, involve them, share your struggles, your journeys, and talk in the language of using we and not you and I. Don't put yourself above them and then below you. Softly approach things with we. When we feel like this, when we go through that, this is what we can do to make ourselves feel better. Not when I feel like this, I do that, I do this, so you should do it because you need to follow me because I know more about life than you. It doesn't work like that. Soften the approach, bring them on board, create content for them. Engage and comment on their posts. Another thing coaches forget to do. They want to post out content. It's all about them, me, come and like me, come and comment. You get annoying people. I get loads of annoying people on Facebook who will message me privately. I've done this post. I really think you like it. Can you go and give a like on it? Can you put a comment on it? That doesn't work neither. That's not going to help you build your algorithms. You're going to actually have an adverse effect. You're going to annoy people. They're going to unfollow you, unfriend you, block you, and that's going to affect your algorithms. But how do you start to engage and comment on their posts? People like it when you engage with them. Think about how you feel when somebody puts a comment on yours, engages with your post, makes you feel good, gives you a bit of a dopamine rush because somebody's engaging with you. Yep. You know how people feel about this. So find your potential clients, understand their struggles, see their posts, engage with them through their posts. Build up a relationship, a connection, which lies nicely onto point 3 here. Provide value. Give them value. Show them what you're capable of. Show them what you've learned. Show them how you can help them overcome their struggles. Show them how you can help them achieve their goals through personal stories of your own that links to the kind of collaborative goal for them, and also by just giving them some tips and hints and ideas on their posts. And if you're one of these people who sit back and say, yeah, but am I giving too much value? What value am I going to charge for? If you feel like you're in that position, then you don't know enough about what it is you're helping people with. You should be able to provide value for free and also provide a lot of value behind closed doors through your paid services. And if you feel like you're struggling to put content out, you're feeling like you're struggling to talk about certain things that you're niching in or it's your area of expertise, then you're not an expert in there. It's said that for the first 5 years that you're in an industry or profession, you're just an innovator. If you're over 5 years, you'll start to become an expert. So be really conscious and think about where you are on that journey. And if you are struggling to provide value for free and everything that you have and know has to be paid in a short course or program or through your coaching services, then you don't know enough about that subject. You need to go out, invest, get creative, get innovative, and start to create more value. Remember, when you're engaging with your audience, reactions on Facebook are weighted. What do I mean by that? If somebody puts a cry face on one of your posts or they put an angry face on one of your posts, that is going to affect the algorithms. It's going to affect the reach of that post because people are reacting to you in a negative way. A laugh face is quite neutral because people can be laughing out of different contexts. A like face is a positive reaction, which is going to boost the chances of that being reached. And a love heart. So you'll see that I use a lot of love hearts on social media. It's not because I love everybody, but from an actual perspective of business growth and social media growth, using that love button favors more in your algorithms than using the like button. It's more heavily weighted. So think about that when you're engaging with your audience. Okay, expanding past the 4.32%. So as I mentioned, if you've got 1,000 followers and you do a post, no matter how long you spend on that, you post it, you're going to average 40 people. It's going to land on 40 people's news feeds. And the only way that you're going to expand past that 4.32% is if people within these news feeds, these 40 people, start to comment, like, and engage on what you're posting. Then that number is going to go up. It's going to reach more feed. It's going to start to affect what's known as the golden hour. So stay tuned. I'm going to share that in a second if you haven't heard of that already. But you need to look at ways in which you can expand. And this goes back to Adele's question about how does interacting with comments in groups help. This goes back to expanding. If you join and post in Facebook groups and be smart and strategic with the Facebook groups that you join, find groups that have quite a large number, even just a small number of the potential clients that you want to serve, and you go in there, you start to post value, then they're going to go and reach people past your friends list. It's going to expand past. It's going to be anybody who is going to be a percentage of people in that group. You see a lot of top contributor badges now in groups. You want to aim to start to become a top contributor in the groups that have the potential clients that you want to serve, because as a more top contributor, the more people engage with you, your algorithms within that group and the chances of your posts being seen are going to be huge. And for our coaches that are coaching minds, I'm going to be sharing some extra tips and extra value outside of this. I'm going to be sharing you some posts I did. I tested the algorithms just to make sure they're still working in January. And there's a few groups that I got in there. I was getting over 1,000 comments, 1,000 reactions, and the engagement was huge. And it just boosted up my algorithm again on my social media platform, because the more you engage and the more you show positive engagement in groups within Facebook and Facebook pages and other profiles, that boosts up your chances of also being seen. And the algorithms are fixed to try and get you to communicate and connect. This is why the right audience is important. They're designed for you to connect. They want you to use the platform as frequently as possible, as much as possible. That's the drive for Facebook. And they want to aim to connect you with the people that they think you want to speak to and you want to communicate. And this is why cookies are dropped in everywhere. And if you say or search, Google search something that you want to buy, you'll start to see it everywhere on Facebook as well. Everything's tracked. It's the same thing. They want to put on your newsfeed what you want to engage with. So this is why it's very careful. You need to be mindful. And a good tip to start to grow your audience is go through the groups that you've signed up, the pages that you follow, and unlike anything that isn't within your area of work or business, because you're going to start to get things on your newsfeed that you're not interested in, that are not tied to your growth and what you want to achieve. So really think about how you're using this, okay? And when people actually comment on your stuff, respond and engage with every comment. You have, and especially in the golden hour, we're going to talk about the golden hour in a second, but I see so many coaches, and there's guilty coaches in coaching minds. People, you put a bit of post out, people will like, they'll comment, and then they're just left. Comments are just left there. If you want people to come back and react again and engage with you and start to follow your content, you have to respond to their comments. And you have to do what's known as mirroring what they do. So it's a case of the mirroring technique, what this is in Facebook or any social media, is whatever they comment, you need to give that right amount of effort back. And yes, it takes time. Building up an audience on Facebook takes time. If you want to do it right and you want to grow authentic connections organically, you have to do it right. So if somebody just says, thanks, this is a great post, you can comment back saying, thanks, glad you liked it. But if someone gives you a really detailed comment with a question and you just respond, thanks, how's that going to look in terms of interaction and growth? You need to start to mirror what they say. So if they give you a detailed comment, you need to look to give them a detailed comment back. Somebody gives you a gift, give them a gift back. Mirror what it is that they're putting on your post to help you grow your algorithms and grow your audience. Okay, so respond and engage with every comment. Go through my posts, check out some stuff. I might have missed a few recently because I've been very busy, but the latest ones, I put a heart on every comment. I will respond to every comment that comes into my my engagement and what I post. Okay, sometimes things get lost in Facebook groups, especially when you put over 1,000 comments coming through. I cannot respond to that level, but because I'm at that level, it's okay. I can step away. But if you're only getting 3, 4, 5, 20, 40 comments on your posts, engage with them. It's a good way to build those relationships and build that out, especially if they're your potential clients, because then Facebook's going to start to show you more of your potential clients on your newsfeed. Adele said it is not about you, so important. Thank you for that, Adele. And she's saying that's a crucial tip. Don't just like or follow groups. It's important because everything you do on social media, everything you post, you're telling Facebook, this is what I'm interested in. This is me. This is how I interact. And everything you don't do is the opposite. So they're going to keep interacting in and less of what you're not interacting in. I appreciate I might have dropped off there for the internet. But it's very important, mindful of how you're interacting and who you're interacting with, so you can start to get more of it. This goes back to that point that I mentioned, that 20 engaged followers is more beneficial than 1,000. They're just numbers at the end of the day that mean nothing. 1,000 passive followers, because as you engage more with them, you're going to grow. You're going to have more potential clients, more potential. You're going to grow your business that way, rather than people who are just going to skip everything. And then you need to understand that how that reach again increases. It's got weighted. So it's obviously going to increase more if people share your post. So if you can create a piece of content that people want to repost, that people want to share, that's going to boost up the algorithm a lot more than just people putting a few likes on it. Equally, comments are weighted more than likes and reactions. So the best thing you can get is people to share your content. The next best thing is comments, engagement on that. So you want to drive content, that comments. That is why you see a lot of people, and you might think that these people are trying to be controversial, or they may be a bit daft, but actually the people that post, and I'm going to explain to you in a second what it is, but these people are actually very smart. They'll start to do what's known as clickbait, or by putting out something that's really obvious or something that sounds really daft just to get a reaction from you to build up there. They might post something like, let me think of an example because I see a lot of them all the time. Unpopular opinion, this, and you think, that's really wrong. That's this, and this. They'll start to provoke reactions from you and comments from you just to get that engagement up. So think about how you get people to share more of your content. Focus on shareable content. If you struggle with that, focus on content that's going to get comments, and then look at your likes and engagement, because you want to maximize that reach. And we're not maximizing reach here for attention or for ego. We're thinking as a coach running a business. And this is why we need to start to think about the right potential clients rather than just the numbers of followers and likes anymore when it comes to this game. Make use of the golden hour. And I'm going to talk about the golden hour in 2 slides time, and memorize this golden hour because it's really, really important. So then how do we start to create leads? So we build up our audience. We're starting to get a lot more engagement in what we do. We're starting to have connections with people. So people are starting to private message us. They start to private message us. Yes, it happens. If you're engaging with them on their comments and on their feeds and you're providing them value, they will reach out to you. You're starting to have conversations there. You can then establish yourself as a leader. Start to really own and be an expert in what it is that you have, in your content, in your niche, in your area, with the people that you're serving. Start to build a community around that leadership. This is why Facebook groups, they're still quite active. Past 2017, 2018, 2019 to 2020, and just before the end of COVID, those 4 years were the golden years for Facebook groups. It was when Facebook groups were the place to be. I remember when I started to set up my first Facebook group and started to build up from there. It was engagement. A lot of people were getting involved. A lot of people were engaging. Then they've introduced new features that have paid people off, and people have stopped using Facebook groups. Facebook groups is, again, it's April, because they're going to remove APIs, so integrations into Facebook group, which is going to affect the way in which we do business. Like I said, Facebook is going to change a lot. That's why we're not doing a course on this, and we're just talking about what you need to learn in terms of the fundamentals of Facebook right now, and then adapt and build on this as Facebook grows and changes as well, and new trends and new ways of content come into place. So establish yourself as a leader, create a community. Facebook groups are great, but you don't even have to create a community on Facebook. You could use Facebook because, as I mentioned at the beginning, over 3 billion users a month on there, over 2 billion users every day. So how do you use Facebook as a way to build an audience, to get those initial engagements, and then take them into a different platform that you run a community? Maybe a WhatsApp group, maybe a Telegram. Coaches are Coaching Minds, your AI-powered coaching room. Issue badges, you can set challenges, you can set tasks, you can have a space where you can engage with your potential clients to start to build them up as well. Provide more value, which is point 3 there, and invite them to purchase your services for you to go deeper and get more value and more wisdom and more expertise from you. So that's how you start to think about creating leads. So you need to get out there, reach more people. You need your content to land on more news feeds. You need more people to engage with what you post. That's why it's important to put content out there. We're going to talk about conscious content in a moment that aligns with your potential clients and not with yourself. if you post too much about you and you do it in a negative, egotistical way, all you're going to do is provoke jealousy. You're going to provoke jealousy amongst people, and they're not going to want to engage with you. They're not going to want to reach out. So that's why you post for them, and you invite them into engaging with the content that you post. So what is the golden hour? Now, the golden hour is one of the most important pieces that you need to note when posting content on social media. And there's a lot of things that fall off the back and come behind the golden hour. Okay, so what it is it's the hour after you put a post onto Facebook. Okay, so if you post at 5 p.m., you have what is known the golden hour between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m., which is the time on Facebook that the algorithm is going to be at its highest and the opportunity for maximum reach. Strategically posting with a business mindset, and not just to put something out there for people to engage with or people to laugh with, but actually to engage and have a good discussion with people, you need to make sure you have an hour set and access to your Facebook and your content after you've posted it, so you can maximize this highest opportunity of reach. Because the more engagement you get within that 1 hour is going to determine how well that post does overall, how long it's going to sit there higher up in the algorithms, hitting more people's news feeds, or whether it's just going to be a 1 hour show and then it's gone. Okay, and what you need to do within that hour is don't wait till tomorrow to get back to people's comments. Don't wait till a few hours later on. What on it, and anybody that puts a comment on your post within that hour, you want to hit the love button and you want to respond to it within that hour. That's then going to maximize the potential of hitting further news feeds. So you need to really maximize this hour. It's the perfect time. So this is what I mean when you need to swap from the mindset of here's a nice post, fantastic, to actually I need to have a strategy in place here. I'm not a consumer anymore. I'm a content creator, and I need to learn tools. I'm 6 here. There's so much more to this. You want to go deeper into the golden hour. You need to start to learn what time of day is best to put a post out there. When are you going to catch clients when they're already scrolling through Facebook on their news feed? By location, by demographic, by what they're doing with their day-to-day lives. If you're targeting business people, maybe Facebook isn't the right place, and this might not be a good example because you go to LinkedIn for that. But let's say you're talking to somebody who works 9 till 5, they're not going to be on the phone during that time. So a lot more things expand beyond this. I'm giving you the fundamentals, but you need to know this. And if this is new to you, digest and start to think about how you use Facebook as a coach to grow your business rather than a consumer that just wants to post a few things and gets engagements and likes. Yep. So the greater the engagement, the larger the reach is going to be within that hour. So set yourself an hour, comment, engage, comment, engage, comment, engage. If it's a post, get out there and you want to maximize the reach. Obviously, don't do this if you just want to share what you've been up to and you don't want it to reach. It's not going to bring in any good discussion or engagement with people. Just post it and get on with the rest of your day. But think about your social media strategy. This is part of an organic social media strategy, maximizing the use of the golden hour, putting and knitting together everything we've already talked about in the rest of the session. And then finally, the last thing we need to think about, and this is something I see a lot of our coaches at Coaching Minds trip up on, forget about, and it's consciously about the content that you're posting. Now, I'm not saying the context. I'm not talking about what it is you're actually posting. I'm talking about how you post it and the language that you use so you don't affect your algorithm at the outset. So, as I said, the average view in the average news feeds that your post is going to land is on 4.32% of your friends list. Okay, if you're posting directly onto your newsfeed. To be very careful with the language and the words you use, because the algorithm's set to pick up promotive words, commercial words, or words that are seen to be promoting yourself or trying to be needy and desperate for likes and loves. So if your content, if your word means things like the word like or share or love, this is going to drop the number you're going to hit. It's going to not hit on my news feeds. It's going to pick it up as a negative interaction, and it's going to affect your algorithms. So, and I'm not saying you use this a lot in terms of please share this and please, love this and put a like if you want this. I'm saying the algorithm will pick it up no matter what context you use it. So you want to say, I was out today and I in love with this book. I want people to love the post, but the algorithm will pick up that word love and it will affect your algorithm. So you need to be conscious on the words that you use. The other thing is links. Don't put a link in a post. If you put a link in a post, the algorithm picks that up as possible spam, drops down your reach and possible engagement on Facebook. And you also have to be careful now, because the technique in you could drop a link in the comments box, pin it if you're in a group, and then that would be where you could direct them. But the algorithm started to pick up on that. So you want to do it. You want to get a link on a post, wait until after the golden hour. So talk about it, post whatever you're posting, and put the link after you hit that maximum reach. Once it starts to die down, once the algorithm starts to die down from that golden hour, add the link as a comment after that. It's going to maximize your reach. The other thing to note, and you'll see a lot of people on Facebook posting this way, is sometimes images can be a bit clunky. This with images, things you design on Canva. The most reachable and effective pieces of content on Facebook that is going to maximize that expansion rate, okay, that engagement rate, is the writing with the background. So you you choose a blue, purple background or a red background, what you're writing a little bit bigger. Those actually get more engagement and more reach than if you were to put in a nice Canva design. So bear in mind when you're posting things that are linked for you and your growth, and to build relationships and audiences to become potential leads in the future. The other thing to be mindful of is APIs as well. So I'm not really doing a good example here, but I'm not looking to expand my reach on Facebook by doing this video. But you're watching this Facebook right now. I'm using a software called StreamYard. That is an integration. That's integrated into Facebook and public. YouTube. Facebook doesn't necessarily like these. So when you're actually engaging through an API, through an integrated service, it's going to affect your reach at the outset. So me using this, it's not going to reach many people on my personal profile because it's an API. Because Facebook, obviously, they would prefer direct live from the platform itself. So that's going to get you more engagement. If you go directly through Facebook, than if you're feeding it through a streaming platform. That's a fact. The reason why we use this at Coaching Minds is because at the minute we're not looking to grow our social media. It's not one of our KPIs. It's not one of our aims for the future in the next year or so. We have other marketing strategies to bring in coaches and business. And the pros of using StreamYard is we can brand it and we can do lots of different things with it. Facebook, when you go directly live, it's difficult to brand, and it's limited functionalities as well. It's not as good as using StreamYard. And with StreamYard, we can, people are watching this through YouTube right now and feeding it to our profile page as well. So you can stream to multiple destinations. So that's more beneficial for us. But you need to think as a coach, what's more important for you right now on your stage? Is it more important for you to grow your audience and reach more people and have more people see your live? Then if that's the case, you want to go live directly from Facebook. But if that isn't your target and you want to look more professional and you just want to get value in a session across and you're doing education, then StreamYard might be the benefit for you. But remember, it's going to affect the algorithms. I've talked about content format. And the last thing is just being mindful of what you get. Be careful with your content, because if your content gets reported, if wrote something that's seen as, oh, you've upset the woke community or something like that, and somebody hits the report button, that's going to be a struggle. If you get a ban from Facebook, that's going to be a struggle for you. It's going to take you a few weeks and months to rebuild that good social algorithm on Facebook. So be conscious of what you actually post and what you say. I have a pain in my backside with a competitor who wants to act in an anti-competitive way, somebody that I used to work for, and people will reach out, they'll report you, they'll block your content just because they want to reduce your algorithms and stop you from being seen and stop your content from reaching a lot of people, because they're for all sorts of reasons. But just be mindful that any negative interactions you find yourself in on Facebook is going to affect the reach of your posts. So if you're blocked, if you're reported, if you're unfriended, if people are reacting with angry faces, people are reacting with cry faces, the post that you do after that, your algorithm's going to drop. You're not going to get many views. You're not going to get people seeing what it is you're posting. And you have to rebuild it from there. So just be mindful of how you interact. So we've covered a lot. It's a long session, 45 minutes, but this is just the basics. This is the fundamentals of using Facebook in a way that changes from a consumer to a content creator, so you can build and work with people. And the key thing that I want to mention is you need to do it authentically. I'm talking about shifting from business mindsets because you need to be more strategic with what you do. Doesn't mean that you use people and you don't care about what you post. It's very important that what you post, the content you put out there, reflects who you are and it is authentic and aligned with your values. One thing you can really screw up with as a coach or somebody who's trying to put out social media videos, stop editing, stop cutting. People can see when you've cut a video, it lacks authenticity and they don't want to engage with you. If you fuck up, if you say something that, that doesn't come out proper, I've made a lot of boobs when I'm going through and delivering these sessions. We're human. We're not robots. We don't have to get everything pitch perfect. If you say something that's slightly inarticulate, or you say something and you can't quite find your words, let people see that you do that. It's authentic. I'm not sitting here recording, cutting things out. Let it be natural. Find your way. And if you're struggling to be natural, then you have to edit because you need little snippets of sentences to go all together in string, then you need to check whether you know the stuff that you're talking about as much as you do, as you should or you need to, and recheck yourself on what you need to study and learn to go a little bit further. So be authentic. Very important. I'm not using this session. I'm not teaching you these tips so you can target vulnerable people and manipulate Facebook in a way that's going to serve you. It is in a place of authentic values so you can reach your growth, because you have value. You have this passion as a coach. Everybody at Coaching Minds, you have this dedication, you have this passion to serve other people. And it's important that people know the value that you have to offer. And it's important that people can see you, can hear you, your voice can be heard, your services can be received. So this is why we're doing this. But remember to stay authentic, remember to give value, and remember to stay aligned to who you are. And don't cut all this bullshit in. Just be you. Naturally step up, naturally speak, and be you. I want to say thank you to everybody who's engaged. Lots of comments come through with that. It was great to see you tune in again. Thank you for being here. Dell, thank you for your questions. And thank you for your inputs as well. Thank you. This was packed with insights, knowledge, and tips. And this is just scratching the surface of Facebook. It is a monster to understand. Next week, we're going to go into Facebook ads, because, again, when you invest in Facebook ads, unless somebody's reporting or hiding your Facebook ad, the algorithms don't really affect the paid side of things that much, unless you're going against the standards of Facebook with the content that you're posting. But generally, because you're investing in Facebook want to help you hit more people. So you invest more money. It's a business for them at the end of the day. So next week, we're going to look at that. This week, we've just focused on organic growth, how you can naturally grow and engage and use Facebook in a way that's going to help you make an impact through your coaching business. I look forward to seeing you all next week. If there are any questions, we're going to give you 2 minutes. We're a little bit over time. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. If anybody wants to drop any questions below. If you're watching the replay, drop questions below as well. If you're a Coaching Minds coach, in our coach library, you are going to see some stuff that's going to help you understand when the best time to post on social media, tools and tips you can use to help you work this out based on your niche and what it is you're trying to get out there. There's going to be some other tools, some other tips for you. So if you're Coaching Minds coach, keep an eye on tips and a new tool that's coming in the coaching library over the next week. We are here to help and support you. And if you enjoyed this session, I just want to say a huge thank you on behalf of Coaching Minds. You can join us at hub.coachingminds.co.uk, where you can learn, connect, and grow every week. These sessions are free. You can earn badges on other challenges and tasks and things that we've got going on. Lots of stuff to get involved with your personal growth. Come and join us. Scan the QR code or type in hub.coachingminds.co.uk into your Google right now on your phone, and come and join us and get involved. Catch up all the replays. You know, if you want to learn about business models, if you want to learn about imposter syndrome, we did one last week on the key essentials that you need as a coach to start up. We're doing these every week to provide our value and benefit to coaches worldwide. And you can join us as a Coaching Minds coach as well, if that is of interest to you. Adele, an awesome session. Thank you so much for being here, Adele. Like I said, everything that I've shared with you has come from courses that I've invested in back in 2018-19 when I was starting up on social media. I paid a couple of £100 for these courses. Experience, things that I've done wrong, things that I've learned from, things that have worked for me. So it's all coming from personal experience here. And I can answer any questions that you want on what's worked for me and what hasn't. Just drop them in the comments box. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend ahead. I look forward to seeing you next week. We start to go into the paid ad side of Facebook if you're looking to invest and get a return on investment. Thank you very much. Speak soon. Bye.